Thank you very much. I want to start by thanking you for being here today. Thank you for taking the time. I hope you find the experience informative, interesting, and that we inspire you into action. I also want to make a quick thank you to Abby Robinson. Thank you for everything that you're doing to make this happen. My presentation is a little different. I've decided not to do an academic presentation, and I'm also going to speak a little about personal experiences. To start with, transformative change. What is it? Do we need it? And who's going to do it? The best summary that I've seen of what it is it's the willingness to move from an intellectual knowledge to do something to an emotional willingness to do something. Do we need it? According to government policy, everything that's already been said today, Peter Shergold's report, Learning from Failure, yes. We need deep, radical, sustainable change. Who is going to do it? Dare I say today, I know it's been mentioned, but everybody. For it to succeed, we all have to play a part doing it. It's going to take a lot of energy to change, we know that. So I want to start right now by playing a video that speaks to how one strategy shows moving from an intellectual willingness to an emotional willingness to change. And so the first, I'm going to use a couple of experiences, and I'm going to be talking about heart-based decision-making and head-based decision-making. Thank you very much. 16 years ago, the wheels were falling off my life. I had done some work exposing the need for urgent system change in the legal system. and it created some very messy career experiences. At the same time, I was a witness for the state in an excruciatingly painful criminal matter. And at the same time, I had to sell my beautiful Centennial Park apartment to pay for student fees I'd incurred doing some PhD studies, empirical data collecting overseas in the States. Before, is this too loud? Is it right? No? Before all of this train wreck of events collided at the same time, I'd actually planned to do a trip to Washington, DC. The problem was that the events were so wide-reaching, I didn't know where to begin dealing with things, and they were so incomprehensible for me to process, I couldn't deal with it, and I didn't get any planning done. So the very first time that I had to arrange my planning was after I had flown out of Sydney, and after midnight, sitting in a hotel room. I call it my Washington, DC broom closet story. Because, you know, have you ever been into one of those hotel rooms in Washington? And after midnight, I'm sitting on the bed and I thought, okay, I'm here. I don't have a letter of introduction. I don't have a connection. I don't have an appointment. I didn't even have a phone number to print a business card to give to anybody. The original plan was that I wanted to connect with a brilliant program. It's called America's Promise. It was highly innovative, evidence-based, genius program that was aiming to reach all children. And I wanted to connect with them and learn more about it. So I'm sitting on my bed and I'm weighing all the logical side. And I said, okay, all logic is just go see the sights. And yet, in a non-religious moment of personal inner clarity, I remembered one of my early leadership training messages that is core to what I think we all need to be able to do to succeed in a harsh environment of change when it's being pushed upon us. And it was to trust. Trusting what? I can't exactly say. I can just say that I had to trust to go the distance. I didn't know the outcome. I'm not talking about intuition. I'm talking about just trusting. And I can say that the trust has to come from deep within who we are as individuals. And I think as a society, we're losing that. We're losing that connection that we have with ourselves. The short story is I decided to go with the leadership lesson of trust and also the leadership lesson of being resourceful. On a shoestring budget, I walked up to the US Supreme Court building. I found a public phone booth in the basement of the building. And the short story is I did get a meeting. I got a meeting with the Chief of Staff of America's Promise. 6 months later, I was reading the book of the chairperson of America's Promise, the autobiography. He had become the Secretary of State. And the Chief of Staff was Bill Smullen, whom I'd met with and stayed in contact with. I was astounded when I read the following paragraph. Colonel Bill Smullen, my assistant and close friend, worked on every aspect of the book, particularly heading the research operation, while also running my office, which gave me the freedom to devote to writing. For the past 6 years, Bill has been alongside me, my confidant and protector. I'll never be able to thank him enough. I've been given, out of nowhere, a 15-minute meeting with the Chief of Staff to the person who at that time in the United States was the most respected man in the United States. I also can't thank Bill Smellen enough. For 16 years, he's been a friend. He's become an advisor to the small, citizen-driven initiative that I represent for student engagement to build values-based engagement in schools. And Bill's very kindly agreed. He's a military man. And I thought I'm interested in leadership from every level of society. And I'm going to be, interestingly, in the icebreaker we had today, I met somebody from the Department of Defense, so that was really good synchronicity. We're going to play the video from Bill. Just a couple of minutes, thanks.
Good day. I'm retired U.S. Army Colonel Bill Smellen, Director of National Security Studies at Syracuse University, located in Syracuse, New York, here in the U.S. of A. I'm pleased to be with you, albeit virtually, and pleased to have been asked to contribute to your Innovation Network Summit by my dear friend, Dr. Kate Sinclair. As 19th century British author Lewis Carroll profoundly said, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there." Such wandering about is no longer an acceptable form of navigation. In today's world, you need an objective to get to the right destination and a plan to achieve that objective. A strategy comes to mind, one with forward-thinking strategic imperatives. The object of any sound strategy is to concentrate a preponderance of influence at a decisive point in time. In today's global stage, you need a game plan for achieving established goals using available resources to solve global problems. As you do so, allow your imagination to wander so as to imagine all things, good and bad, that might occur. Then, strive for the capacity to respond intelligently to those challenges that lie ahead so as to make the very best informed decisions. Be sure to factor into your considerations the resources available, the costs involved, the potential consequences, as well as the risks and ramifications associated with your established objectives. If you do, you will inherit a strategic lens that provides clarity to 21st century value-based decisions. Thank you so very much for including me in your summit. Good luck, and may it be a smashing success.
I think it's encouraging, and just based on that conversation with the Department of Defense representative here today, that in Australia we are also starting to look at bringing strategic imperatives together with imagination and intuition. The second story I want to start with is on the more on the head-based side. We can go back to that other slide, thank you. And that is, I call it my Woolies trolley man experience. It's saving Ali. So I got to know Ali as the trolley man in Woolies over a period of 6 months. He was a Middle Eastern man and was extraordinarily shy. I've had very favourable experiences working with Middle Eastern students in the Western Sydney area, and based on knowing how decent and passionate and how much they have to contribute to our society, I had an immediate alignment to want to just learn more about Ali's experience. He actually, after 6 months we had a chat, he's studying to be an accountant. He's doing all the right things to put himself on the first rung of the ladder in our nation. I run a very small, citizen-based initiative. As I've said, I'm trying to influence, trying to encourage change for students to experience their power to play a part by engaging and by learning, by doing, in the field of science, in the field of, across the whole spectrum of education. So my commitment is to help people like Ali. But my governance expert, when I suggested bringing him in for an internship, wouldn't allow it. They said I had to have more protocols in place. And the relevance of this story, I think, is that if I'm experiencing as a citizen-driven initiative the inability to bring in and support a citizen because I needed more protocols, I was told to wait another year, then what are you experiencing? You know, you've got to be experiencing the same level of blocks, and instead of just calling this the Saving Ali story, I want to call it like the Saving Australia story. What's happened to us? Where have we, do you know what I'm talking about? Is there any recognition here of that we're losing something in that robust vibrancy, that fair go, sharing? Yes? The problem was, can we just go to the next slide, thanks? The problem was, is that even though I might have a doctorate in law, I felt like in the moment with the governance expert, if I were to start to argue or make the case to bring in Ali regardless of having the protocols that they would have preferred, I would have been arguing from the emotional side of the equation. I was stupid. Yet, on the heart side of things, it's understandable why people who do have heart-based but come more from passion, there's lost some credibility because they appear to be coming from the arguments with their head in the sand. And clearly that's not going to be effective either. So we can go to the next. Let's have a quick look at some of the head-heart dualities, but because I think it's relevant to the extent that I've picked this topic to try to help you perhaps develop more tools and have a greater understanding about our relationship to failure. And the relationship to failure matters because the more equipped we are to deal with failure, the more equipped we are to take risks. And the more equipped we are to take risks, the more equipped we are to build the transformative change, bridging that divide between the intellectual and the emotional willingness to do something. And when we can bridge that, we can then build the innovation nation that we're committed to achieving. So let's just take a quick look at the heart-based. It's the head-based decisions, it's the respected evidence. If you've studied, you know that if you want to have anything of real value, you do quantitative, data-based research. Whereas on the hard side of things, it's the soft, fuzzy, lacking credibility sort of evidence. This is objective, this is legitimate, and head-based operations, which is dominantly government bureaucracy. Everything is, you know, the protocols, the forms, and I think you get what I'm talking about. Yeah, decontextualized analysis. Contextualized analysis, it can go too far this side because everything's more uncertain, a bit creative, too fuzzy. They are at the extremes. Let's look at the host cultures that keep either one of these mindsets functioning. Take a quick example, the military. When I was at West Point Leadership Academy, I was stunned to learn the level of, they call it planning, they have their reasons. Cadets are told how far above their ankle to wear their socks. Now, I don't need to say more about military. We agree, I would imagine, that they need to have predictable, controlled, people have got to be able to rely on each other. On the other side, though, what is happening is that in the very same academy, and they're continuing to do this, 10 years ago, I was walking through the corridors of the, if you haven't heard of West Point, it's one of the most esteemed military academies in the world. I'm walking through the Department of Behavioural Sciences and Leadership, and they're advertising Malcolm Gladwell. For those who don't know Malcolm Gladwell, he wrote The Tipping Point, and he also wrote Blink, and it just seemed incongruous that that would be in the same institution. I'll just read to you something that Malcolm really emphasizes. There are, I think, two important lessons here. The first is that truly successful decision-making relies on a balance between deliberative and instinctive thinking. And that is what the military is doing. They are bridging the divide between that and that. Education. Education in Australia and in Western nations is primarily built on an industrialized model. It was about what you had to know. You had to know the facts. It was a fixed mindset. As we've just heard, how fast knowledge is changing. Facts are becoming irrelevant. The shift that's happening is that the education has to become rapidly. And to everybody from education in this room, I take my hat off to you because you are working hard. I want to be politically correct. It's not easy for what you're doing. There's a lot that has to be done because we must prepare our young people for the 21st century. Every year we are falling further and further behind. Education is becoming about navigating through change, navigating through uncertainty. The facts are less relevant. It's a growth mindset. It's about how you think, not what you think. So that has to undergo radical change. In an example of where education is not working, I was having a conversation with a senior global leader, has a solid role in Australia. He said, we've just sacked the Ducks in one of the top schools in Australia because they didn't know how to think. My website, Global Citizen Leaders, this is the only plug I'll give what I represent. I had the good fortune for the Director of Education for the OECD to do a support video for one of my youth leadership events. So if you want to see what he thinks education should look like for the 21st century, the video is on the site. The last example would be government. I don't need to say anything about compliance. Two quick examples. A friend recently achieved a 15-month, 100% government-run job. In their first week of employment, they went through induction. In their second week of employment, they went through exit training strategy. We spent our meal processing some of their confusion about their role in the organisation. It's another conversation I had with a person, a very senior executive, very recently. I have immense respect for them and for what they're doing. And they're working themselves into the bone to try to deliver the sort of change that we know has to be done. It's against the odds. We all need to get behind these people. But I was expressing my frustration between the gap between what exists in the rhetoric and the gap in reality and what we see in practice. I know that we have reports on 7:30 and other programs about change, but maybe you're living in that same space where there is a gap between the rhetoric and the practice. And hopefully today you'll develop a few more skills to be able to play your part. But the government job, the person said in his senior role, Kate, I've been in government a long time, and when you're in government, you do as you're told. I'm going to go out on a limb here and just ask a quick question, if you want. But does that resonate for anybody? Yeah. Okay. The positive side, where we're going with government is today, the things that you being in this room, the Innovation Network Awards, where they're looking not just at the individuals who've done things, but also at the leaders who support them. Can we go to the next slide, please? So the strongest orientation is about where we dominantly live at the moment, is that we know that it's backward looking. It has to be because predictability is based on past experience. It tends to be more rigid, slow moving, left brain, text-based, everything's more hierarchical. But it continues to function only if we stay disconnected from ourselves. Like that head-heart break. The strongest orientations on the heart-based side, for the host cultures that keep that mindset going, is that it is more forward-looking, it is more fast-moving. It is risky, though. And the worst side of that, of course, is that it can be dismissed as pixie dust. So it's as if on one side we've got trickle-down trickle-down governance, and on the other side we've got the pixie dust side. And we have to not be in that extreme, and we have to not be in that extreme. It's like being on the seesaw, and there's a barrel, and we have to be constantly finding our balance. And we're the ones who don't have to do that. And it starts with trusting ourselves more. Okay, so I want to make some quick recommendations. How am I doing for time, okay? Thanks very much, okay. So the first recommendation would be to stop discounting the benefits of, I won't go into all of the science on that, but it does exist. The short answer here is, we used to think that when Einstein intuited E equals mc squared and then went back and did the work and actually proved it scientifically, when Richard Feynman wrote his scientific finding first on a napkin, the ideas that come from those sorts of people, we're also starting to learn, can be an intelligence that can be learned. It's the highest form of intelligence. The highest form of intelligence does not live in that side. It lives in that side, and it's called creative intelligence. And I would recommend anybody who's interested in learning about creative intelligence to look at Ken Robinson's work. The Element would be probably a good starting place. The next slide, please. So, giving up perfect. Give up the concept that you'll begin to change when. We tend to procrastinate it. So I would say that two tools that are most effective for stopping, delaying that perfect, waiting for the perfect time, the perfect colleagues, the perfect experiences, the perfect amount of money, the perfect policy. We've got to be able to start creating change without things being perfectly in order. And I would say reflection, look into research on reflection processes, and also meditation. I'm going to have to skip to the last slide. I wanted to briefly recommend that we give up impression management, but the Yale School of Business Management, Tom Kolditz, has written beautifully about the need for that, for authentic leadership. Can I just have that last slide back again, please, the other one? Yeah, thank you very much. Professor Bob Keegan and Lisa Leahy have been doing work for about 30 years, and a couple of years ago, Harvard Business Review gave them the feature article on what's called DDOs, Deliberately Developmental Organizations. I'm going to make the most outrageous statement right now. It's not because I want to be seen as potentially a bit of a fool. But this is what is happening. This is where we're going in the future. Their work is about bringing errors and vulnerability into the workplace. And I'd strongly recommend that if you can get a hold of any of their work, to look at that as a way to move forward. Finally, on the need to bring, just to close up, the head and the heart, I want, like Professor Chubb, to recognise we are in extremely tumultuous, uncertain times. Australia, Brexit, Europe, America, Donald Trump, what is going on? And in all of these extremes, I'm brought back to a leadership example when President Kennedy was facing the Cuban crisis. We know that it was about, there's a lot of government emphasis and there's a lot of military emphasis, but I think it's little known the letters that were written secretly between Khrushchev and President Kennedy. And in those letters, they found their common humanity. The Cuban crisis was solved in part because these two men went outside their systems and they spoke from their hearts about the future that they saw for the world and the common goals that we all share, the dignity that we all have, that they wanted to support, and it averted a global crisis. Thank you very much.